Welcome back to our awesome little mini series we got going on. This week is an actor of the week. Last week we did the Kyoto Brothers, which was like a special effects, like it's a
Special effects
group.
company. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
a company. They're three
but
brothers that have their own company.
they've also done a lot of individual work on their own as well. So each one is individually talented.
Yeah.
Like not one of them's a
Well, I
leech,
think I think they just get sent out to things. They still work under the same company. It's not like they're doing it on their own. I think they just they had their own projects also along with
Okay.
working together. So
Okay,
that's
that
why
makes
it's
sense.
credited to one or the
their
other.
their
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
or one of them in vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before that, we had John Leguizamo, and obviously our first was Sigourney Weaver. So this week we're doing maybe not as well of a known actor, or maybe he's only known for like one specific role. But if you've paid attention to movies in from '90s up till now, you've definitely seen him. And from what I've heard, he has like a huge cult following amongst like women. Like they just love him. It's Matthew Lillard,
Yeah,
Shaggy himself.
he's an underrated actor. I think he's a really good actor, but I think he's one of those guys that does just like a lot of indie stuff. He doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily get cast on like some of the bigger stuff because he's not that like he's like a regular guy. Especially now that he's older, he looks like a dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just got that look. He's not the super hulking superstar to where he's going to get cast for some of the you know how it is these days. It's all about
Oh
looks
yeah.
anymore. You don't see ugly people that are great actors being leads of movies and stuff anymore. Not that
Yeah.
not that I think he's ugly. He's like a normal dude. Like he's just like a regular guy.
But I would say from like 95, 96 to like 2003 or 4, he was typecast in that
Mm-hmm.
specific looking role because he does have a look to him.
Yeah.
We'll make it there. But real quick, the stuff that he kind of was in before he actually got big was like small roles, even uncredited roles. But Ghoulies Go to College was his first actual appearance in a
I
film.
think that's Ghoulies 4.
Okay.
I used to own all the Ghoulies on VHS. Another sad story of VHS owning. I don't even own Ghoulies 1 and 2 anymore, I don't think.
God damn.
Yeah, I don't
dude.
have them on DVD. I had VHSs. They were in now 3 and 4 were in shitty condition, not in the great. They were in terrible movies. The boxes were all trash. But when you pay for $2 for them at Blockbuster,
And you had them though.
I had them.
Like
yeah.
regardless of
Had this-
condition, you had
all-
them.
Had 4 of them. I'm pretty sure it was only 4 of them. I love Ghoulies. They're just part of the whole that era of monsters.
The creatures,
Ghoulies. Then you had Munchies.
Trolls.
No one really remembers Munchies. That's actually very hard to come by. They're
don't
like
remember
they're like a Gremlins ripoff. If you saw them, you might
Okay.
recognize them.
Critters.
Yep,
Critters was the big one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, Troll. You had Cat's Eye at the time was another
Yeah.
one with. There's that whole era. Yeah. So then he did
Um,
Serial Mom with Kathleen Turner, directed by John
Yeah.
Waters. That was actually a pretty big movie. He played her son. It was pretty good. It's probably one of the last things I remember Kathleen Turner doing that was actually good. But that's me. I'm sure other people like stuff she's done.
Yeah. The other thing you mentioned earlier, and I hate to say it because I've never seen it all the way through, Hackers.
Yeah, I forgot he was in that. That's a huge cult movie. It's an okay movie. I don't really care for it personally. But,
Okay.
I mean, people love it. I mean, it's more. It's like Empire Records. It's on that level of cult.
Okay.
You
All
know what
right.
I mean? I think Angelina
So it's
Jolie
either you
was.
like it or you don't.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie was in this.
Mm-hmm.
She's like very very young. Jesse Bradford. I mean, the name doesn't ring a bell, but you see his face, you would know him.
Yeah, like those basic
Yeah.
90s actors.
There's a couple people. Lorraine Bracco was in it as like a smaller role. Mark Anthony,
Okay.
like the singer dude. I think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Um,
was a singer. Did some acting stuff. Yeah.
Then you also mentioned Animal Room.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like that's a movie. There was a couple movies I think with that name, unfortunately, but I feel like
Okay.
this is a movie that people love, like Doogie. God, fucking
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris, the guy Doogie Howser and whatnot. He's in it, a smaller role. It's from '95, and I feel like it's one of those like artsy, shitty movies, but some people like just love it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? One of those.
The avant-garde crowd.
Yeah.
So, as 96 rolls up, he obviously gets like one of his more notable roles in a movie that was massive when it came out, and this is Scream.
Do you think it was supposed to be that massive, or did you just think it blew up?
I think Wes Craven knew that the 80s style horror movie was over and the 90s needed something new because there was a kind of a stagnant.
He did make something new with A New Nightmare, but it failed a lot of people. And it was new. It was new. It was different the way it was done, and it was on track of how Scream would turn out to be. And I think it's one of the best ones, personally. I love that. That
real horror fans and real Freddy fans and actual like decent horror fans know that horror movies were still good from 89 to 95, even if there wasn't a whole lot of notable stuff coming out.
No, I'm just saying, I think it holds water as one of the best Freddy's. Like,
absolutely.
It's one of the top.
If you give me an option of them doing another corny, cheesy, laugh out your ass off Nightmare on Elm Street movie or A New Nightmare, I'm going with A New Nightmare. I wanted to see it go there.
Because it broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it took place
Robert
in
Englund
real
is
life.
in it as himself.
And Wes Craven even talks about it. All right, we'll talk. We're getting off.
Yeah.
But
But
like,
basically,
it's so good.
I think Scream was supposed to be a big hit. And I think Wes Craven had a lot of faith in it. And it exploded. Now, you're a little older than me.
It had a
you
huge
remember
cast.
when this came out.
Yeah. It had a massive cast that just, not all of them were in it through like the whole movie, but it was just like, holy crap. And you had like Drew Barrymore, the fucking Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Rose McGowan, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard. I mean, there's a ton of other people that are listed in here, but you wouldn't know them necessarily by name. Maybe you would, some people. Like Skeet Ulrich. I kind of remember that guy's name, and I see his face. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but like in 90s movies, a lot of these people were occurring in other movies, so you would recognize them, even if not by
Campbell
name.
Came from TV. She was a big actress on TV.
Okay.
I want to say it's one of her first or more notable movie roles.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this movie just fucking it's. That's why I'm wondering if it was like, he made it and he knew he had something good, but did it necessarily? Because this was like the John Wick of its era.
Yes.
It changed. It changed. Like, this movie's so iconic because it changed the way horror movies evolved. Like,
but
unfortunately,
some for the good and
some for the bad. Some for good, some for the bad. But I mean, like, but it changed things. You know what I mean? It put a little. It put a little.
It was influential.
A little hot sauce in the butt. Of horror movies.
Well, I think the
the
biggest movie to come out of this was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh God.
I know, but
first one was okay. It wasn't bad, but it's just.
There should never have been a sequel to that movie.
Yeah, was there like 3 of them?
I think there's ridiculous. 3 altogether.
Yeah.
The first one's not terrible, but that movie would not have been made if it wasn't for Scream.
Oh, fuck, what was it? There's one that was made because of this, and I actually really like it. We'll keep going with this, but I'm gonna try to remember what it is.
So, well, while you're looking up that, after Scream, he was on Nash Bridges for an episode, which whatever. And The Devil's Child, which is on TV movie.
I'm gonna make funny faces. People don't mind me. I'm thinking.
Huh?
I said, don't mind me, people. I'm gonna be making funny faces because I'm thinking.
Even though, spoiler alert, he dies in Scream 1, he actually appears in Scream 2 as a guy at the party. He's uncredited. He's in the background. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then he did something called Dead Man's Curve. Not too familiar with it. But then he did the underrated comedy classic Senseless with Marlon Wayans and David Spade. That movie does not get enough love.
No, that is a great movie. That movie is. If you haven't seen Senseless, because maybe you hate David Spade or whatever, I don't know, like Marlon Wayans, like they actually are really good together. And then Matthew Lillard has a smaller part in it, but he's really good in it too. It just kind of fits. Like you have to see it. The movie's actually really good. It's really funny. It's one of those It's one of those hidden gems.
There was a lot of comedies in the mid and late 90s that didn't make a huge mark, but they're fucking good.
Blank Man.
Blank Man? Oh my god, yeah, Blank Man's fucking hilarious. And no one talks about Blank Man. I know. It sucks.
All right, so I found it. The actress is Rebecca Gayheart. That's how I remembered the movie. She's the Noxzema girl from all the commercials.
Oh,
like
yeah,
super
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
girl that looks like she's, never ages. She's probably like 40 when she played a teenager in this movie. Urban Legend.
Urban Legend.
I actually really like that movie, but it's a bad movie, but it's fun though. You know what I mean? Like they had some fun kills in it. It's just a shitty movie though. She was in Jawbreaker a year later.
Oh, I did like Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
Actually, Jawbreaker is a really good movie.
Yeah.
I think Urban Legend is something you could sit down with your friends and watch and laugh and have a good
It
time.
is. No, it is. Yeah, no, you're not going to watch that by yourself. No.
No. I mean, you'd regret it. I got something in my fucking eye.
Maybe you could the first time, but after that, like, it's just, you would never be able to again.
No.
Yeah. Well, maybe not so much anymore. Maybe back then you could have watched it by itself because it was still new. The whole genre was new. The way they made.
Yeah. But now it doesn't hold.
Doesn't hold at all. Anyway,
so
continuing on.
Jump up to 98. SLC Punk.
Iconic movie.
He is the main lead character in that movie. Him and Heroin Bob. If you've not seen SLC Punk, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life.
Yeah, and he's iconically named Steve-O. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Before Steve-O from Jackass.
Not really, because, like, it was a thing right now.
It was,
98,
but
it wasn't,
he was the popular
big.
one.
It wasn't big.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He was the popular Steve-O.
Yeah.
Dude, I have something in my fucking right eye, and I'm just trying to get it out, and I keep...
Eyeball, your finger, an eyelash.
You know what? I just got to put some of this hand sanitizer... I'm not doing that. God,
that would probably burn like all head, and I would laugh at you.
Before I get to... well, they're both 99. I want to mention Wing Commander. If you're not familiar with the video games Wing Commander, they were like these live-action... video game like cutscenes, and they always looked like shit because they were compressed to like 3DO standards.
Yeah, well, they were early PC games. They weren't particularly great in the graphics department, but they were revolutionary though, groundbreaking at the time.
They were groundbreaking
because they were trying to use.
They don't hold up today.
It was like super pixelated, like 120p maybe 80p like pixelated video that was in a game. Like you get that's like in the last episode we talked about Sewer Shark. It's a very similar premise where they're like live video recorded. It used to just be like animated stuff or whatever. Like this was actual video, but it was just so shitty, the quality.
Kind of like what's that cult horror game that everyone loves?
Corpse Killer. I don't know if they love it.
No, not Corpse Killer.
Night Trap.
Night Watch.
Night Trap.
Night Trap.
It actually was banned briefly. I actually have an original copy of that.
Do you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I had a Sega CD very early on.
Okay. Damn, that's awesome. That is great.
Yeah.
Did you want to mention his other big 1999 movie? Because I actually don't know much about it, but...
Well, I mean, what are you talking about? She's All That?
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, he was in it, but he's not like he's always like just a supporting character actor. He's not like a huge... It's a fun, stupid movie. I mean, I was still young and dumb, and, it was a good movie. Yeah, it's funny. It's a good movie to watch with the ladies back in the day.
Okay.
You know,
So jump up to 2001. Yeah, he did some stuff
it's
in between.
crappy.
Nothing crazy. He was in this iconic cult horror movie that a lot of people shit on nowadays, but I think
I
it's
think a
still
lot of people
pretty
shit
well.
on it then too, though.
What? Oh, 13
Yeah,
Ghosts.
he did this chick flick before that, Summer Catch. That was pretty popular.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I'm pretty sure it was a
Now,
baseball movie.
before we started recording, actually, Wolfman, we had a little talk about 13 Ghosts, and he said if we had the money, it is a movie that deserves to be remade, and there would be some changes. But Matthew Lillard's character would not be one of those things. He was actually very good in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, the Summer Catch movie is the baseball movie with him and Freddie Prinze Jr. again. It was like the summers of Freddie Prinze Jr.
The sidekick of the...
Jessica Biel, and they're in Cape Cod for baseball season, like between whatever, like college, I don't know, whatever. You know, it's a fucking chick flick. It's a little sappy. You know, Brittany Murphy's in it. Fucking Matthew Lillard, Fred Ward. Fred Ward's like a big actor. He does a lot of grindhousey stuff.
Yeah.
But he's good. Yeah, plays the dad. Wilver Villarama. You know, from
Yeah, Fez.
Yeah. It's just if you like chick flicks, that's your movie. If you need to watch something
I'm
with a
talking
girlfriend.
13 Ghosts.
I know, but I
which is a
had to
much
go
better
over it. If
movie.
someone needs to watch something with their girlfriend, so they can get away with watching, you know, some fucking horror movie or getting away for the weekend or whatever. No, not the weekend.
Just
Maybe
put the
you might get
Notebook and Twilight
you
on.
might get a couple hour pass later after watching it.
It's funny because I didn't know this, but right after 13 Ghosts is when he did Scooby Doo. He's Shaggy.
One of his 8,000 things of Scooby Doo he did. Yeah. No, but yeah,
And it's weird.
But yeah, 13 Ghosts. We didn't finish. You kind of just skipped.
Yeah, no, because he said earlier
Yeah.
he would like to remake it if we had the money. But Matthew Lillard's character would be the same because in that movie he is one of the greatest things. But what is the main thing that you would change in that movie?
Well, I would get rid of Monk, but I would also try to make it a little more realistic and scarier. It's just kind of like cheesy. You know, they don't show enough. Like they're like taunted by these ghosts and they're like chased around, but it's PG-13, isn't it? It's not even rated R.
But there's nudity in it. Remember the dead girl with the big
You know what?
knockers?
Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is rated R. But I feel like it's rated R, but I feel like it's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, it's a light
You know
R.
what I mean? It's like a super light R, and it probably only got an R because of like some of the ghosts look amazing, and then the boobs. You know,
The ghost design
yeah.
do look great.
The fucking jackal, the fucking juggernaut, like the
Juggernaut.
What was she? The dying bride or something, or
The Jade Princess
Jade,
or something.
yeah, they were awesome. They're so
you had
good.
the punk with the baseball bat and the fucking leather jacket. You had like the big baby. Dude, just
Yeah.
was really
He's the
good.
firstborn son. There was the gambler. He was the torso.
yeah.
Trying to look in here. So there was the withered lover, the bound woman, the torn prince, the angry princess. The torn prince is the one you're talking about with the baseball bat.
Yeah, the biker.
The
looking
pilgrim knees, the great child, the dire mother, the hammer, the jackal, and the juggernaut.
guy. The Hammer.
Yeah, the hammer
was
is one with all the
actually a
spikes in
professional
them.
wrestler in real life. Yeah.
Herbert Duncanson. That's his real
Black
name.
guy, right?
That's his. It's just no picture.
Okay. Yeah. I think he was a professional wrestler at some point.
Yeah.
I like the movie.
It's good.
I do.
It's shitty. Got shit on. It's
Then,
what it is.
Obviously, Shaggy from Scooby Doo. I feel like Matthew Lillard was like born to play that role.
He is, dude. He's the greatest Shaggy ever. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Greatest Shaggy ever.
He was in a Muppet Christmas movie for TV, not the Muppet Christmas Carol, but the TV movie. The Perfect Score he was in. Obviously, Scooby Doo too. Anything Scooby Doo, he's in.
He's got like 80 credits for Scooby Doo stuff alone, I think.
Yeah.
Almost
Oh,
literally.
yeah.
I know I'm joking, but probably almost literally.
No, I'd say you're close. Yeah.
It's got 141 credits overall, and probably 50% of them are Scooby-Doo stuff.
Shaggy. Now, in 2004, he was in a movie with Dak Shepard and Seth Green, Without a Paddle. And I know some people think the movie is shit, but a lot of people hold it close to their heart. I think it has some funny moments, but I don't think it's a good movie overall. But I do think there's funny parts in it, and all three of those guys are pretty funny.
I would probably agree. I don't 100% remember the movie very much, though. It's one of those I
Yeah.
know I've seen. I probably had a couple of giggles about it. I just don't remember liking it. But it was also one of those movies that was hard to find. Like, it wasn't on TV a lot. It didn't get a lot
No.
of exposure after it got out of the movie theaters. You didn't see it.
And I
It
don't
didn't
even
get a
think it
lot of
was in the
replay.
theaters longer than like
No,
3 weeks.
no, it did not do well in the theaters at all.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually kind
Like
of
a
curious. I'm going to open it up to see if it has something on IMDb.
it's like a DVD, like the DVD. You go to Blockbuster and you see the cover. It was popular amongst like DVD trades and rentals, and I think that's how it got a good audience. And pretty much after that, this guy turned into like an indie darling.
Like I said,
Yeah,
he's
he was
looks
in
like a dad. He just turned into like a regular guy. He wasn't that goofy character anymore.
But he would still voice Shaggy. He would still do the voice because the voice didn't change.
You know what? It actually made money.
Did it?
Yeah, I mean, it. So its budget was 19 million. It opening weekend was 13.5, and then it grossed just under 60 in the U.S. and then overall, it grossed 73.
Okay.
So it made money, but in movie world, it didn't make enough. Like it's in that
in terms,
yeah.
it did well enough that they made some money, but not well enough to warrant
to
a
them,
sequel.
but to them, it's like a wash. Even though it made a little bit of money, it didn't make enough money for them to be like, let's make another. This is great. Let's promote it more. You know, because it.
But on a 19 million budget, 70 million.
Yeah, but you gotta figure they probably. I mean, I don't think they put a full 19. You know, because general rule is, whatever you spend on the budget, you spend that on advertising also.
Right.
And
right.
then you factor in the gross, and you go by that. I really doubt they fucking put $20 million into advertising on this.
No.
They may have put in half, maybe $13-ish million. And if you're lucky. And that's probably another thing. They probably didn't promote it as well as they should have.
I honestly don't remember seeing commercials for this on TV, like coming soon or nothing. I don't remember seeing trailers.
I saw a couple while I was in theaters. I remember seeing some stuff. I remember seeing something hanging somewhere at a video store, like coming soon after it was released in theaters. But that's it. That's all I remember. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they spend much. But I mean, I would call making around $35 million a profit. But to them, it's not enough. To them, that's chump change in the movie world. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's
after
pocket
it all
change.
gets spread out, and they're I only got $2 million out of that.
Yeah, no, they ain't worth anything.
Jesus,
yeah.
So after that, like I said, he pretty much became like an indie darling. He was in like The Groomsmen, which whatever. 13 Graves was a TV show. What Is Love? He was in. Just like some random stuff. Did an episode of Law and Order SVU as Chet in 2009. Endless Bummer, which is like a playoff Endless Summer. He played Mike Mooney. Not too familiar with it. Then you get back to like the 2010s or so. Some more Scooby-Doo stuff. He was in an episode of House. And then in 2011, he was in that piece of shit Scream 4. He was the guy at the Stabathon, but he was uncredited, obviously, because his character was dead in the first movie. In 2012, he actually directed a movie called Fat Kid Rules the World, and he also plays a psychologist in that movie. And then basically, it's like he does 2 or 3 indie things, and then like something Scooby-Doo. 2 or 3 indie things.
in 2012, I'm just gonna skip up to that. He did an episode.
That's where I'm
He
at.
did an episode of Criminal Minds. That show is
Okay.
fantastic. If you don't watch it, you
Oh, it's
should.
great. Yeah, yeah.
Phenomenal. Even with all the cast changes, I think they're on their final season right now. Like their show's gonna be no more.
That
But
sucks.
I remember like, I don't remember the episode totally, but I remember seeing him and I'm like, holy fuck, that's Matthew Lillard. And I'm like, damn, he plays a fucking great serial killer psychopath in this episode.
Well, it
Like
says that it was based off of David Roy Turner, who, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do a serial killer, especially the way Criminals Minds does, that's definitely one that
oh,
would
that's
be
an actual
interesting to watch.
real killer.
Yeah, I think it's based off. Before I give it an actual go, if it's David Lee,
Well, this one's David Roy Turner, but
yeah, yeah,
but you think
that's
it's
what I'm
based
trying to
off David
think.
Lee Turner?
It
They just
could be.
changed
Give me-
it.
Well, but they didn't change a lot of them.
No, I don't. Yeah,
Um,
I'm assuming some of them are real files that they made, episodes off of.
Let's see. Yeah, sorry for the dead air. I'm just searching something. Usually one of us is talking while one's searching. Um, so under the name they showed the picture of Matthew Lillard. But I have a feeling it's based off of a real killer. A rapist, serial killer, thrill killer. And if I go through my serial killer encyclopedia, I might actually come up with something for it. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's based off of somebody. Did you notice anything past 2012 that wasn't Scooby-Doo that you recognized?
Just TV stuff. He was in. I don't remember if it's 2 seasons or 1 season, but he was in that detective show Bosch that I really like. That I told people to watch. He plays Luke Lucky Kyloff or whatever. I'm not sure how to fucking say his name. I think it's one of those where the character has like an alias, says 2 different names. It might go into another season. I don't remember that. There's on season 6 or 7 now. I can't remember you know what I mean? I watched a lot of stuff. Can't remember exactly what season what, but it's a phenomenal detective show. It's very like noir, like back in the day, like the way it's filmed and the way the detective is. It opens up with a really sweet jazz piece on the intro. So the guy's like a huge jazz fan, the detective, like as it plays on his character. He's very old school in like a modern world, like so that some of the problems play off in that.
Okay.
He gets in trouble for things. It's part of the show, but it's phenomenal.
Old cop in a new world.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I would check that out.
It's really good. The guy that plays Bosch is fucking phenomenal actor. He's great.
Now, the one thing you did mention that I had no idea about, because you said like you have a friend that is into it, was the TV series Good
It's
Girls.
more TV stuff. Yeah, it's a newer show coming out in 2018, still playing. Yeah, I don't know really too much anything about it. But
it's
people love it. It's popular. It's got the girl from Christina Hendricks from Mad Men.
Yeah.
She's the main character, and it's got the big heavyset black girl from Parks and Rec, Donna.
Okay.
Like her, I don't like.
I don't know the actress
I don't remember
name, but
her
I know what you're
name.
talking about.
Yeah. It's like Retta or something. I think it's Retta is her name. I think that's her.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's got some other girl that I hate, but I've seen a couple episodes. I'm like, God, I hate that girl. I hate her face. But my friend's like, oh, I like her. I think she's great in the show.
She's a good character.
Yeah, she's a good character. But yeah, I mean, and
Okay.
he's in it. He plays. I think he's Christina Hendricks' husband in the show.
Oh, so he's got a pretty good size role.
Yeah. He's got a pretty good size role. It's based on these 3 women. It has something to do with they end up trying to launder money, or they get stuck in this laundering money scheme for like criminal mob and stuff, but they do it like, in the American Housewife way, or they end up in the beginning season they buy a lot of stuff and return it, so they're getting their money back and they launder the money that way. It's just
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen a
like
couple episodes. I've seen a few episodes. I've seen part it was a while ago. I didn't really sit down and
yeah,
watch it. It was good. For a little bit I watched, it was good, and a lot of other people like it. I don't know how crazy they went in, now, but
right.
it's like,
That is like the very basic of laundering
yeah,
money. Like anyone, it's either go to a casino,
yeah,
put your money in a machine and cash out, or go buy stuff and return it. But they have ways of even tracking that down nowadays, so it's still not the safest,
yeah. No, but I mean, it's a TV show. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
three
yeah.
seasons. Oh, excuse me, 3 seasons ish. It says on here on IMDb. It's good. It's got good actors, good actresses.
Nice.
So I suggest
So
people watch it. It's a crime drama with three women leads. Running it. If that makes you want to watch it more.
yeah. So I would recommend, if you aren't familiar with Matthew Lillard, like the movies that I would recommend right out of the gate would be SLC Punk, Scream, and I would probably say 13 Ghosts. And if you have a young one, obviously Scooby Doo.
The first
Those
one,
would be
not
my
so
main
much the
picks.
island one.
Which one?
I said the first one, not so much the island one. The second one kind of sucked.
I
It
haven't
was
seen
okay. It was okay, but it wasn't.
them. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. My name is Gray.
All right, yeah.
Make sure you check us out on Patreon. Check out all of our social media accounts from Facebook, the Slasher app, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, you can find us all over Spotify and Apple, but definitely go to YouTube. That's where you're going to find everything we do will be on our YouTube channel. It's just easier that way. Other than that, I am Gray.
Wolfman.
Later.
Later. Grind us out.